It's impossible. I thought so too. It started on a rainy Saturday. I was wandering through a secondhand bookshop tucked away in a narrow side street, the kind of place where books were stacked in unstable towers and nobody seemed entirely sure what was actually on the shelves. Hidden behind a row of old fantasy novels was a thin black manga, no title, no author, no artwork, just a plain black cover. Curious, I opened it. The first chapter seemed ordinary enough. A teenage boy walked through a city. He missed his bus, dropped his phone, spilled coffee on his shirt. Nothing special. I bought it for £2 and took it home. The next morning, I overslept. I missed my bus. While running, I dropped my phone onto the pavement. Later, someone bumped into me and coffee splashed across my hoodie, the exact same events, in the exact same order. I laughed it off. Coincidences happen. But that evening, things got stranger. A new chapter had appeared. I was certain it hadn't been there before. The boy was standing outside a convenience store arguing with a stranger. The stranger wore a bright red jacket. A scar ran across his eyebrow. The conversation was oddly specific. Every word felt deliberate. The next day, I met him. Same jacket, same scar, same voice, same argument. The words matched perfectly. For the first time, I felt afraid. I rushed home. The manga was waiting on my desk. Another chapter had appeared. My hands trembled as I turned the pages. The boy was sitting alone in his bedroom, reading a manga. The same manga. Panel after panel showed him turning pages. The artwork grew darker. The shadows stretched longer. Something felt wrong, as if the story knew I was reading it, as if it was waiting for me. Then I reached the final page. The boy stared ahead in terror. Standing behind him was a figure, tall, featureless, completely black. A speech bubble hung above the page. "Don't turn around. Don't turn around." I slammed the book shut. My heart hammered against my ribs. It was just a horror story. That's what I told myself. Just a horror story. Then I noticed something. The chapter wasn't finished. There was another page, one that definitely hadn't been there before. Slowly, I turned it. The drawing showed a bedroom, my bedroom, the same desk, the same chair, the same lamp, the same book, everything. The shadow still stood behind the boy, but now he had turned around. The next panel showed an empty chair. The one after that showed the manga lying open on the floor. No boy, no shadow, just the book, and one sentence. "Now it's your turn." I stared at the page. I wanted to close the book. I wanted to throw it away, but I couldn't stop looking. Something about it felt wrong, not frightening, certain, as though the page wasn't showing a possibility, as though it was showing a memory that hadn't happened yet. At that exact moment, I heard something behind me, a soft scrape, like a shoe moving across carpet. I froze. Every instinct screamed at me not to look. The room suddenly felt colder. The air felt heavy. Then I heard breathing, slow, steady, close, far too close. I stared down at the page and watched fresh black ink spread across the paper. A new panel was forming. The drawing wasn't complete, but I recognized it immediately. It was me, sitting in my chair, exactly where I was now. The ink continued to move, line by line, stroke by stroke. The drawing showed me beginning to turn around. I couldn't breathe. The figure behind me took a step closer. The floor creaked. I felt its presence, right behind my chair. The panel on the page was almost finished. The drawn version of me was turning, slowly, towards whatever stood behind him, towards whatever stood behind me. Then I realized the truth. The manga wasn't predicting the future, it was creating it. The panel completed itself. The drawn version of me finished turning around, and at that exact same moment, I did too. And for the first time, I saw who had been writing the manga.